Now, to the surprise in the elections in Iran, voters overwhelmingly elected Hassan Rouhani, a 67-year-old cleric who is known for his negotiating skills over the country's nuclear weapons programs. Today, he said he would follow a path of moderation. Arash Khalatbari is a correspondent and Press TV and joins us from Tehran. Arash, thank you so much for taking some time with us. I want to start by saying, what's the mood now? It's been a day or so since the election results. What's the mood on the street?
Well, the mood on the street is that of hope and positive change. More than 72% of eligible voters have come to the ballots, and they have elected a president who has said from the beginning that he is a moderate. And with this, and they think that being moderate, there will be very good changes in the country. In many countries, the heads of states of many countries that do have problems with Iran at the moment, they have congratulated Mr. Rouhani. And the mood has definitely changed from the time that Mr. Ahmadinejad was the president. And I think that very good things are about to come. But he is a moderate. One weakness of moderation is extremism. And that is the only danger that is threatening him. I think that everything would be good and everything that there will be very good results with, even especially with the negotiations with the P5+1, if the West is also moderate. By being moderate, I mean that they would go ahead and, if something is suggested, recommended by Iran, a package that is according to NPT law, and then they can go ahead and they can make sure that Iran is not after any kind of arms, as Iran has said from the beginning that they are not. Then they would have to go ahead and take a moderate path and organize something and come together and make a consensus and just make a kind of agreement that satisfies both parts. I think that both Iran and the West are losing in this kind of tension between them. And I think that in a path of moderation, they can have very good results, especially with the atmosphere of positive change and hope that has changed with President-elect Rouhani.
And Arash, let me ask you what your assessment is of his relationship with some of the ruling clerics and in fact, the supreme leader. While he is calling for a pathway of moderation, that has not necessarily been their pathway. Do you suspect that he will be able to be a bridge between the two thoughts?
Well, actually, as a journalist, I asked this question from him myself. I asked President-elect Rouhani before that, do you think as a president you would be able to make any changes in foreign policy? And he gave me a very good example himself. He said that look at the time of President Khatami being the president. He was also the president, and then Mr. Ahmadinejad. The kind of problems were quite different in both times of the two people's presidency. So can a president make this kind of change? Yes, I believe that he can. And I believe that since he's a moderate, he would come up with something that would, in negotiations, because he's also a very skilled negotiator that has had a lot of experience in this area before, and that in negotiations, I'm sure that they are able to come up with something that satisfies both parts. Is it able to satisfy them fully? No. If it's a negotiation, both parties have to come up halfway. Not in a way that they would make some kind of concession, this part and that part. But the concessions, they do not have to go to the red line of each other. And how is that made? Well, I think it can be made if both parties sitting at the table negotiating, they're both moderates.
Indeed. And Arash, on a personal level, a professional level for you, some of the optimism is in his moderation is that there be more freedom for private citizens, but maybe even for the media. Do you share that same optimism?
Well, he has also said in his campaigns that he's going to change that mood when he becomes president. He is going to make many cultural changes. The last time I spoke with him personally, I spoke with his associates. They also said that they are unhappy with the mood at the moment, and they're going to change that. To change that is to give them people more freedom. Please don't forget that more than 72% of people have elected him, and they have elected him to make changes. So is he going to take more steps in taking changes in a way that there would be more freedom and there would be better results? I believe that's a good way to go. And I think that if he doesn't make the change and everything stays the same, he would go ahead and lose his popularity. And he's not going to do that. He knows the importance of people backing him.
Indeed. Joining us live from Tehran, Arash Khalatbari, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Wish you all the best.